Hi boys and girls, it's me Butch. My name is Terry David SILVERCLOUD. I'm not native, just sounds that way. Today is, I believe, the 9th of April, 2026, and I'm hoping it's a Thursday. I had a stroke a while ago and I'm having serious memory issues, old man issues. I forget that I'm 81 now. And I wanted to just let you nice folks out there to come and visit me to know I'm still alive. Hi, I'm still alive. Um, and nervous because the tube removed one of my last videos and gave me a strike, and I don't know why. So I got to be very, very careful. But what's really important to me is not just to push out crap videos, and I don't have a whole lot to say other than I yak, yak, yak anyway. I got lots to say, but what's really important to me, because I'm worried I'm going to wake up dead at any moment, is to push my physics ideas that I have come across in the past 30 years uh, to anyone who may want to pay attention. I know the majority of you won't have a clue what I'm talking about, but Butchie Poo, that's me. I'm into the very elemental, basic stuff of reality. What is it? What's it made of? How's it work? That kind of stuff. So I discovered, because I got diverted from the path I thought I was going to take was to get into physics. I thought maybe I'd go work for Bell Laboratories and invent something. Remember, I'm 81. This is before smartphones, before computers, before I discovered electrons at the same time I discovered puberty, and both have kept me very interested my entire life. And so I've had an understanding of electrons in maybe a different way than most classical physicists would come to know them, and taught myself radio and TV and like, how do they work? Oh yeah, well, that's easy. So I view electrons as my best friend, and we all should, because everything you do right now, your entire reality is composed of zillions of them, too many to count. They're everywhere, all at once, all of the time. And they are the pixels of your reality, basically. Um, if they aren't actually physically there, then they're cousins, they're quantum waves, as it were, they're radio waves, which they are all emitting all at once, all the time, everywhere in all directions, all the time. It's really complicated, I know. But when I got into writing my book, The Shape of God, which you can still download for free online at The Shape of God, I discovered that there is no real answer for like what does cause the speed of light. We don't know that, and I put some thought into it, and the answer with which I came up seemed so blatantly obvious that I thought, well, why hasn't somebody else thought of that? And so I've asked myself that question: why hasn't somebody else thought? If it's that easy, which it is, Butch says the speed of light is set by the electron itself. If this was an electron, positron, if you must have positrons, and it's spinning one way or the other, it doesn't matter. One's left spinning, one's right spinning. That's a good thing. And that's all part of reality, is things must spin. But when you get down to the solid bits, the best solid bit we have is the electron. And it in spite of quantum physics, it is a thing, and its physical size and what it does with it establishes a whole bunch of its quantum numbers. It doesn't really care where up or down is. It's up or down to it is the axis around which it is spinning. And the electron really doesn't give a crap what direction that is. And it can change really fast. So fast, in fact, that we don't notice. That's a good thing. Um, so everything that's happening is a repercussion of the speed of light. Everything is actually happening at what Butch says is 4/3 pi c, the speed of light, divided in 2 cubed. where c is the radius of the electron. So the electron can be here and there at not the same time, but to you it's the same time because it's spinning. So you're seeing it as one thing, but it is both here and there, and it transmits information from here to there, either by moving, like that way, one of its widths, or by spinning a half spin. It only has to go a half spin. If we need to get this dot from here over to there, it only has to go a half spin to get there. But if it were part of a wave, we appreciate the other half too. Thank you very much. So a whole spin would be very nice. The point I'm trying to get to you is that Butchie Poo thinks the reason nobody's figured out what causes the speed of light is it seems so effing big. 300, I'm rounding numbers off here, 300,000 meters per second? That's really big. So everybody gets bedazzled by these gigantic numbers and is looking there and forgetting to look down. Like when you're trying to build supercomputers, you're trying to get the pixels and the quantum chips as small as you can possibly get them. And the smallest you're going to get is an electron, and unfortunately, we can't quite go that small, but we can make the wires basically one electron wide, and we're trying very hard to do that between the contacts that are the transistors that are part of the chips. The point I'm trying to make is all information is already happening at the speed of light. You are already moving at the speed of light. When you look out there, and when you look out there, when you look out anywhere, the information coming to you is coming to you in one way or another because it has to use electrons to get into your brain, and your brain is running on electrons. It has to get there by one spin or another of an electron. The electron is the speed of light, and you're going to get the information as fast as that electron can get it to you. Is the electron made of something smaller? Probably. Butch says it's made of two tachyons, and the tachyons are uh, two, well, they're basically regular prisms, 90 degrees and back to each, and they form a Johnson solid J26, the gyro bi 2, bi means 2, gyro bifastigium. They're stuck together. That's a good thing. Butch says that the electron, if you could grind it to a halt, probably is this shape. And you say, well, that's not a sphere. Well, it doesn't have to be, because you can see if you orient one of these tachyons, Butch says this is a tachyon, and the pole goes through here, then this pole here can rotate around the other pole one way or another. So you can have two different types of electrons, or from the point of view of the other one, it thinks the same thing is happening. It thinks it's the pole and the other one is rotating around it. And if that happens in the case of two hydrogen, oops, come over here, dear. Over here, over here, back over here, and back over here. You lost me. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. Come on. There you go. The tracking device got all confused there. Butch says that you would have yourself a helium atom. This is what Butch says helium atom would look like at the point of condensation from a gas to a liquid. And it can't condense any further because it's interlocked like that. But if it could, it would like to become, I'll see you got all lost again. I got to put you over here. I'll put you over here and then you won't get so confused. Oh, you like that shiny object, do you? Yeah, I see. You like shiny things. My tracking device likes shiny things. You would have yourself a gyro bifastigium. So I know somewhere out there, of all the many thousands of people who come and check me out for one reason or another, um, that some of you may be into physics, or you know somebody who is into physics. And did I tell you I'm working on my painting? These are a couple of my paintings I'm working on. I'm working on my landscapes, trying to get them done, acrylic on boards and canvas. Um, if you know somebody seriously into physics who would understand this kind of thing, they need to just put their minds into that thought that this old dude, me, is not crazy. If they just think about it, that the electron sets the speed of light, and your reality is already happening at the speed of light. When I was talking about information coming to you from far away, it's arriving at you, you personally, at the speed of light into your brain at the speed of light. You are already existing in an at speed of light reality. It's normal. It's being set by the tiniest of solid things by which we measure everything, which is the electron. We measure everything with the electron. We transmit all information with the electron. There's no getting around it. And it's a thing. In spite of how you want to think about quantum physics, there's nothing wrong with quantum physics as long as you don't forget that it actually is a thing. And, it has different lengths, Planck's lengths, or, there's several different lengths that we think might work with the size of the diameter. If you lined up enough electrons side by each in a row, one long, long, long row of electrons, if you were to line them up side by each, as many as it took to make a string 1 light second long, you would discover, probably to your surprise, that the number of electrons you would need to do that, lined up side by each, corresponds very closely to numbers we have already established for the diameter of an electron. We have a couple different lengths, and that's okay. And suddenly I have to blow my nose, so you're going to have to bear with me here. I smoke a lot of pot, so my sinuses drain. And hang on, here we go. Well, that was mean. I didn't mean to yak on and on so long, but my passion is to somehow reach out to somebody out there who's young or old, I don't care how old you are, but into physics enough to really give this idea thought that the speed of light is caused by the electron. That is where it comes from. And don't have to look for big numbers out there. It's very tiny. And when you start thinking about reality that way, it quite literally throws a new light upon it. And Butch also says um, that solids are distinguished by having vertices, like this star-shaped thing. Imagine that as an atom, and and here it is again. And I'm going to heat it up, and it's spinning. Everything is always spinning. In order to absorb the extra energy, it will start expanding, and it will eventually become a spheroid where it can't expand any further. The little electrons are holding it all together here. This is an atom of any, this is a generic atom of some sort, doesn't matter which. And if it has to spin faster and absorb more energy, it will flatten out and form a torus. It'll start spinning around an axis of wherever the least resistance may be, and it will become a torus, which will be a gas. And if you had two hydrogen tori that got too excited and one or the other or both broke apart, snapped back together, and found themselves intertwined like this model here, you would have yourself a helium uh, atom, which says so. I say so. If you're into physics, I'm not wacko. Think about these things. They're so effing logical. Which says that, you know, solids have vertices. And that what actually where did I put it down here? This regular uh, gyrobifastidium, you can see I have bright red tape along the edges. If you counted up the edges, you would realize there are 8. So it means you could take a string of 8 parts and fold it into this shape, and somehow it would be very, very happy with that. Why, I don't know, but the universe wants to come to rest and it just can't. It just can't. And it's because mostly of the electron, which Butch says set the speed of light. Now, I think I've talked on long and long enough, so I'm not going to be doing any editing or anything. I just wanted to make a video for those of you who wanted me to make a video for some reason or other, and keep reiterating what is important to me to get out to some physics types out there somewhere, which also says that gravity is push, not pull. Everything, electrons mostly, are pushing for their own space. Get out of my way, get out of my way, get out of my way, get out of my way. Gravity is push. And that combined with different sizes of things and uh, a relatively weak force, but very useful one at times. One can be very, very strong. Magnetism. Magnetism can be a very powerful force, um, and it's another topic altogether. And it is a component of gravity as well. It's not the gravity, but it is a component of gravity. So Butchie Poo is going to say bye-bye and shut up. He's going to shut up. So I'm not well. I'm sorry about that. When people get old, and I hate it. But you can see maybe over here behind me, I cannot sleep horizontally anymore. My legs and feet hurt too much. So I sort of sleep lazy boy style at night here on my sofa and try to keep my feet on the floor. Old age sucks. It really does. It really sucks. So this is kind of a test too of having the microphones down here. I think they're working. I had to look up how they work. My memory's gone. Nah. Keep at it, boys and girls. Be strong. And I'm gonna touch your button here. I don't have my glasses on and my sight's just gone. Ah. I think I see a white dot. You're right there. I can't watch you in it both. Here we go. Bye bye.